Hey, this is Kevlar Golem. This is my very first AFK arena video. I wanted to do this one on the bounty board, specifically using refreshes. And you probably have never heard of anybody doing that, and that's why I actually wanted to do the video. Things that interest me are like the controversial or minority view on things like how to play the game. So the more fringe the idea, the more I like it, at least experimenting with it. So you might not agree with me, but watch the video, let me make my case, and then whether or not you agree, I hope you at least enjoy the video and see where I'm coming from. Right off the bat, I want to say this is not something that's going to overnight be a massive improvement to your game, but I hope that it's at least a little. I think it's worth it. If you do, and you can do it every day, potentially. So if you do something that's worth it every single day, over a long period of time, it's going to be actually in the long run a big difference. So let's start with the mechanics of how it actually works, as far as I'm aware. So first of all, there's two different sets of bounties. There's your solo bounties and your team bounties. Using a refresh only resets the solo bounties, not the team bounties. So if you're not happy with your team bounties, it won't make a difference whether or not you try to refresh it. Just won't do anything. So whether or not, we're purely only looking at solo bounties and whether or not you want new ones. Secondly, if you dispatch your team and try to do the bounty, you lock that in, so you won't lose it if you refresh it. So, for example, the next thing I would say is that you should decide which resources you need the most, and to set out, know exactly what you want before you start trying to do this. For example, I think myself and probably everybody, one of the biggest resources you get from this is dust. And that's partially because you just get so much of it compared to the other stuff. Like if you get a ton of gold, I could see doing valuing gold more, but like a couple 100,000 gold isn't really that much. The other big thing that you do want from this is the crystals. So I will take any amount of, and when I say crystal, like the diamonds, I'll take any amount of diamonds, even 40, even, I don't remember what the blue quality one is, but probably would take the blue quality one too. Diamonds are automatically, I'm doing it. So I'll go ahead and I'll dispatch that one and dispatch this one. So the next thing I do, so the dust is a big difference in the quality. So the difference between 40 and 60 diamonds to me isn't really that big. I want both of those, and there's not really a big difference between either. The dust makes a huge difference on the level of quality. Like this is orange. 150 is a pretty solid amount. And the next level up from that is red, which is 500. That's a huge improvement. So like 40 to 60 is like 50% improvement. Like 150 to 500, I'm not a mathematician, but that's clearly more than doubling the value you're getting from the improvement in quality. And if you want to check what qualities are possible, you go to that button on the top right, and it'll show what you can potentially get. At level 5, there's a really wide window. You can get blue, purple, orange, or red. So this refreshing your bounties is actually more advantageous when there's a wider window of like potential improvement. Again, it'll also be the case at level 7 when I'm up one more. If I can get something that's level a purple all the way up to ascended, that is a really big improvement, I'm sure. So it'll be even better for me to do that once that's unlocked. But even still, at level 6, I think it's still worth it sometimes. A lot of times, actually. So what I do is I look for the things that I definitely want. Like, I would not want to give them up on a refresh. And if there's more than two of those things, I won't refresh at all, because once you refresh, or not once you refresh, but each possible thing is a chance to get something better. And if you basically want to maximize your chances, and at a certain point it just doesn't become worth it anymore. And in my experience, I think once you have more than two, that it's just too few new chances to make it worth 50 gems, because that's how much it's going to cost us to refresh this. So I definitely want the diamonds. And then I look at what else is like a borderline, and I would say the orange dust is borderline. And even though I really value gold very low, because I almost never need gold, and it's going to depend on how you manage your resources personally, but to me, this amount of gold isn't worth it. But for mythic quality gold, I don't feel too bad about keeping that. So the fact that I have 2 on the fence is going to push me over the edge. And so today, I'm not going to do a refresh. But I'm going to edit this together with some future days, and I'm going to put together a couple of examples to show like whether or not this would be worth it to you in your opinion. Because if you don't know anything about this, you probably don't want to just start spending diamonds on something you're not sure about. So I will come back, I guess, probably tomorrow or the next day, and we'll see if I want to refresh, or if and how it goes if I do. All right. Okay, I had a few good days of not needing to re-roll, so this is like 3 days after that first video. Here you see I have a ton of gold, which, as I mentioned before, is not what I'm looking for. I'm going to lock in the 150, because I said before it's sort of on the fence, but really it's not. It should probably just be locked in. And the same with the diamonds. That's going to basically pay for the reroll. And I'm going to reroll this. I'm going to show you real quick. These are the team bounties. You'll see that even though I haven't locked them in, they will not change. I'll show you that in a second. And so here we go. There we go. So that's a third that paid for the reroll. So was worth it in that respect. More than paid for it, actually. Now I have 3 locked in, and I think I'm just gonna stick with this and not try to get greedy and go for any more. You see only 4 would be reset now that I have 3 locked in, so I'm gonna stick with this. And like I mentioned, the teams did not change, so I'm gonna do those as well. And I'll show you some more examples, and I'm not going to pull any punches or hide any of my rerolls. I'm not going to try to like BS this and make it look better than it is. Like, if I get a bad roll, you're going to see it. So tune in next time. So yesterday I decided not to record because I had a whole bunch of the dust, these 48 dusts. I had 200 worth total. So 4 of them, and I decided not to re-roll that because that's, in order to beat that, I would have to get an orange quality dust and another one, and I felt like at best I was going to break even, and I thought it was unlikely I would do better and possibly could have done worse. So today I have 2 purple 48s, and I'm actually going to re-roll these when yesterday I didn't, because this is only 100 worth total, and I could lock them in. I'm definitely locking in these shards because I feel fodder is super important. Also, it's orange quality. But today I'm going to re-roll these purples because I'm trying to maximize the number of chances I get. So I'm willing to lose the 100 dust if it increases the chances I have to get a mythic quality. Also, I just got to max level, which means I can get ascended now. So I can even get ascended quality. So it's even more of a reason for me to try this. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so we got 150. So without even assessing how well that went, I just know. So for one thing, the getting 40 diamonds basically means that the refresh was paid for. So I'm taking that. And then 150, that's more dust than what I had available before. Before I was only getting 100. And now I'm at 3. So regardless of how good the rest of this stuff is, I'll take it. But you'll note here there's another 48. So now I'm up to 200. So I doubled the amount of dust that I was getting, and it paid for the refresh paid for itself by getting diamonds. So good reroll. So I wanted to give a bunch of looks at this and do like a much longer video than what this is going to end up being, but I found recently that my editing software has become like really bad. So I'm gonna probably make this the last one that I do. So here we go. We're gonna lock in the orange dust. Now these I would normally keep, but they're only elite quality, and I value these, but I don't value them so much that I want to throw away my whole chance at refreshing, especially now that I have Ascended unlocked. So let's see what I get by refreshing. Oh, there we go. That's why you refresh. I'll just end the video right now. Oh my God. All right. So if you're not convinced by that, I don't know what else I can tell you. I'm going to leave it there. If you liked the video, like or subscribe. I know I said this was my first video, but I actually put up a different one because this one took so long to make. I hope you liked it. I hope you watched the other one too. Check out the channel. Like, subscribe, whatever. Thanks.